Hi, Holly. Thank you so much for joining me. It has been incredible to have you part of the Angel Alliance team. You have already made such a big impact. And honestly, I just want to dive in and get to know you a little bit better. And I guess what your intentions are with Angel Alliance and the whole, I guess, Web3 transition. So I'd love to hear an introduction. Who is Holly Hagan?
Okay, well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I mean, this is probably a dream come true, to be honest, to be working with a brand like Angel Alliance. So I'm Holly Hagan, for those who don't know. I started out on TV at 18 years old, which was, oh God, nearly 12 years ago. So yeah, over a decade ago. And we became very, very popular. We gained a lot of followers over quite a long period of time. And then throughout the past couple of years, I've kind of tried to direct my audience away from that image of me that they always had in their head. So going out and drinking all the time and partying. I've really tried to shake that party girl image because that's not really who I am anymore. Right now, Holly Hagan is the person who really wants to amplify women in business. And I'm hoping that with Angel Alliance, I can help do that.
I love that. And what occurred, or like what happened within, like, inside of you to have that shift in kind of mindset from, I guess, essentially growing up in a way? How did that happen?
Do you know what? I think it's just age. I mean, when you're put in a house full of people and everyone's getting drunk and you're being treated like children, you act like children. So we were these kind of heightened versions of ourselves, really. But I've always been this person underneath, and I've always been the type of person who I've always wanted to be a leader. And I never saw myself as a leader when I was younger. And I think with age, that has come on leaps and bounds, and now I actually see myself, you know, at the forefront of things, going out there, messaging people, doing these interviews. And the last 2 years, I'd say I've really drilled down on trying to focus on who my audience is, what I actually enjoy doing in life, and where I get the most gratification. And where I get the most gratification is from helping other people. So I've got my charity that I'm an ambassador for, which is Ditch the Label. They are brilliant. I've went through a lot of trolling in God knows however many years. So they've been really, really helpful, because the thing is, most people in the world are going to go through some kind of trolling or bullying. And it's just great to be able to give them the tools to be able to do that. But in more recent years, I've, unbeknown to me, become really, really interested in fitness, which I just didn't think, because I grew up on Jaeger bombs and kebabs. And now I am, well, I've had 2 really successful fitness businesses, and I've also had a makeup business, but that one didn't do so well.
We'll touch on that one a little bit more in a
yeah, definitely. I don't mind delving into it for you. We'll open that one.
But I think, like, I can relate in that sense. I've started my own personal training business, and I can, I guess, relate to your journey in that, like, in a sense. And I think you've gained some real self-awareness, and I think it's so important, you know, understanding what you enjoy and what your passions are. Like, something that I've always tried to do is I've just followed my passions, and that's kind of led me in this direction to have, I don't know, quote unquote success, I guess. And I think it's so important to follow your, I guess, inner gut feeling. And it sounds like that is something that you have really learned to do within yourself. And I think it's hard to achieve, because you need to question everything you're doing and why you're doing it. But yeah, I'd love to dive into more of your entrepreneurial journey a little bit. So can you tell me a bit more about the businesses that you've started and any struggles you encountered? I know you mentioned the makeup one, and I know we don't want to rip up an old wound.
Oh, it's fine. Let's rip it up. Let's go there. So I obviously, when you're on TV, there's a lot of people who want to work with you. They want to do brands, and there was an opportunity for me to do a makeup brand. I was having to put in a very large investment, which was £30,000. Bearing in mind, I am extremely privileged, and bearing in mind, I am very privileged and honoured to have been able to even have £30,000 to put into that business, because without Geordie Shore, I simply would not have had that money in the first place. So it's important to recognise that I was already on a different level. So I put that money into the business. We created the products, and they came back. The products were great. I loved them. I just really didn't like the packaging. So with the packaging, we were umming and ahhing about it, and my business partner was like, it's fine, let's just get them. We'll get them out. And when the packaging came, I was like, oh my God, I really don't like it. I really don't like the packaging. What am I going to do? and which meant in turn I didn't want to promote it because I was kind of embarrassed by it. So I didn't promote it. A combination of a lot of things. I was suffering with really bad skin. So me trying to be the face of something when I'm really self-conscious about the way that I look, nothing's laying right on my skin. I'm trying to do YouTube videos. I've filled my entire face full of filler at that point, and I just felt really like not good in my own skin. So to be able to promote a makeup brand, you've got to be the face. Long story short, that business ended up, we parted ways and I lost my entire investment, which was £30,000. So as much as that was absolutely heartbreaking at the time, and it took me a few days to get over it, let me tell you. I still think about it now. It comes up in my nightmares every now and again. But you know what I will say is that the most expensive mistakes become your best lessons. And what I learned from that initial failed business, I gained in so much knowledge, because even if you look at how many successful businesses there are around today, if you speak to them directly and ask how many they had before that failed, a lot of them had a lot of businesses before they found that one that was actually the one that worked. And I think we are so scared to even try something. We're so scared of failure. We're so scared of what people might think of us. I'm quite happy to tell people that my business failed, because after that I was able to go on and create 2 extremely successful businesses from the knowledge that I had from then. So
yeah. I feel like you're saying words out of my mouth. Like, something that I really want to highlight with Angel Alliance is let's normalize failure.
Yeah.
Why is failure bad? You know, it's not a bad thing. You learn so much from it. And for me, in my experience, every failure that I've had has led me to, I guess, a success.
100%.
And I wouldn't be where I am without those failures. And it's a huge part of the ethos I want to create with Angel Alliance. And, you know, it's okay to open up about those entrepreneurial struggles. Like, I always say this, but on social media, I mean, you've experienced this more than everyone else, but you always see the best of the best. And I remember when I was starting my business, I was always comparing myself to these people that were earning 6 figures. And I was like, okay, why am I not there?
Yeah.
And it's so easy to get into that comparison trap, essentially. And it takes time.
It's
the
hard.
thing is,
really hard.
It's time, and it's consistency as well. And building a business is a long game. It's not a short game. Overnight successes, they do happen, but if you want to build a long-term sustaining business, you have to have that resilience and I guess that passion for the product. So I guess for you, how did you pick yourself back up after that business? And is there any techniques you use when you are struggling, and is there any advice you can give on that?
So I think for me, it was after that, I didn't want to do another business again. And I didn't really have it in my head to be a business. I'd never thought of myself as a businesswoman. I'd never had any education on business. Nobody in my family was in business. And I do think that kind of sets you in a massive, a setback. If you've got people in your family who are self-employed, who know how to do the taxes, or at least can point you in the direction of an accountant, these very, very simple things. I didn't have any of that. And it was, the whole thing to me was scary. I mean, the government website is extremely confusing. So to even try and go on there and get any information, you just feel like it's a load of words on a page, and there's nothing ever directed to anybody who is, quite young and who wants to start a business. And then I started personal training with my trainer, and he started giving me all of this information. Once I'd actually took all that information on board, I was like, oh my God, I need to tell everyone else. So what fit best was for us to create a business where I could give all of this information to people for a very low cost, because to me, affordability and being able to have people just paying a one-off payment, because we knew that people struggled with subscriptions at that point. It was lockdown. And we launched this product. It was absolutely amazing. I was over the moon with it. Bearing in mind, in this time, I'd went and got qualified. So I'd went and got qualified as a nutrition coach, and I started my exercise to music qualification and PT. So I'm fully qualified now. I know everything. I've put the work in, put the hours in, spent the money.
Yeah.
And I really think that is one of the key things, is education. So me getting that education first and understanding everything completely, that I felt confident in it. Then when I actually put the product out, that sold out within 6 weeks. And we were over the moon. It was incredible. And we just wish we would have been able to help more people. So going on from that, we then went on to create a subscription for the people who did want to subscribe. And honestly, it's just been massively, massively successful. And the niche, I think, for me is that if I know that I love helping people and I love being able for somebody to say I've changed their life, that to me is, it means so much more than money in my bank. It's so much more. And if I get one message like that a week, that keeps me so happy and motivated, knowing that what I'm doing is the right thing. I don't care how much I've earned that week. I care about how people feel, and that I could potentially be the difference between them being able to run around with the kids or them feeling comfortable in a bikini on holiday, or do you know what, whatever it is. So yeah, I think it's definitely finding that passion.
Yeah.
The education, putting the work in, putting the hours in, and putting the money in, because courses
you need that initial investment.
And also just having that pure passion for what you love. And it might not be the thing that you think. I thought it was makeup. I love makeup, but that wasn't my passion. I had to delve deeper. So what I would say to people is really delve deep to find out what that passion is, because you might surprise yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I think you touched on some really important aspects there. I think, especially when starting your own business, you have to have a why. Why are you doing this? Why is this so important to you? And why you, essentially?
Yeah.
And in those moments of, I guess, hardship, and they are going to come. Well, if you're an entrepreneur, they're going to come. And like what I did when I was doing my personal training business is I would screenshot every like message that I got, you know, that was like thanking me or saying how much weight they've lost. Like I had a folder in my phone with these screenshots, and if I ever felt low, I would immediately go to that, because that would remind me why I'm doing this.
Definitely.
And now with Angel Alliance, you know, it's long hours, it's hard work. But when I get these messages being like, Maddie, you're going to change so many lives. And honestly, that is why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like this intrinsic motivation, rather than relying on like external factors. You found something that you're genuinely passionate about. And especially from like a VC analyst perspective, we look for those founders that have found something that they are obsessed with.
Yeah.
And they're willing to go to the ends of the earth for, because those are the people that you can back and you can invest in. And you need that.
100%. And they do say if you start a business to make money, you're probably going to fail. If you start it because you love it and it's your passion, and you kind of don't go in there with any expectations, the likelihood is that's the one that's going to succeed. And it was the same with my fitness businesses. I did not ever think they would take off. I didn't think people would trust me because of, you know, I've been on Geordie Shore eating kebabs for many years. I've tried a lot of diet products. I've promoted a lot of diet products, and I had to really work hard to gain people's trust again. But I was willing to put the work in. I was willing to say no to £7,000 deals that were coming in weekly. And that was hard, because going through being an influencer, the money's few and far between. If you're not filming, you don't get a lot coming in, and to see these deals coming in saying, but you just do one post and it's £7,000, and you think you have to be so strong and be able to say no. And being able to say no is a privilege, and I will say that, because when I was saying yes before, there were reasons that I needed the money. If you're going to choose between putting food on your table for your family and paying the bills, and trying a product that you've tried before and you felt was okay and that it worked, what are you going to choose? And it's really difficult for influencers nowadays, because there's so many of them. The market's so saturated. They're coming out and they are being offered these deals, and they may not be able to say no. So as much as we can sit and be like, why are they promoting this? Why are they promoting that? I always advise people to sit back and think, that might be the difference between them being able to put the heating on this month. We just do not know. So I always try and look at things as like a whole, with empathy and just compassion, really.
I love that. And I think I guess that's what makes you unique. And I think you touched on there, influencers being such a saturated market. And I guess there's like a similar thing is happening with NFTs now. There are so many projects coming out, even though we're still so early.
Yeah.
And I guess essentially, what have you found? How can you create that unique edge? You know, like what, if you had to give influencers advice now, what would that be to still, I guess, build their brand? What's worked for you?
I think for me, again, it's about knuckling down and finding that niche and really finding out what aligns with you. I've got a really good manager in the Web3 space who's really had me focusing on what is Holly Hagan about, what aligns with my beliefs, and anything that doesn't, that gets tossed to the side. It doesn't matter how much money it's for. We need to keep drilling right back to, what do I believe in and what do I stand for? Because when people see that, and when people see that, yes, that is what Holly Hagan cares about, rather than, oh, well, she promotes this and she promotes that, and is she doing this and is she doing that, and none of it's related to absolutely anything. It's confusing for people, and it doesn't make sense, and you're not in the forefront of somebody's mind when they've got a job. If somebody's got a piece of TV work, and they wouldn't instantly think of me because I am not niching right down to what I actually care about. So yeah, I think it really matters that you care about what you're doing, and also consistency as well. Having a social media plan. I mean, I was absolutely terrible with social media. I was just posting anything and anything, or not posting at all for like months at a time. So just having that really clear plan and just showing up and being there, and having my audience know that I'm going to be there on a Monday and I'm going to be talking about throwbacks from Geordie Shore days, and let's see where we were, let's see if you can remember. And it just brings in that old audience as well. So yeah, there's so many tips and tricks that I'm still learning, and I've been in this
I could honestly ask you forever about all these tips and tricks.
I know.
I now kind of want to delve into, okay, so you're very established in the Web 2 space.
Web 2.
How did Web 3 happen? How did NFTs happen? Like,
oh, well, NFTs. My business partner was actually, he was talking about this project.
Yeah.
He was talking about NFTs, and I was like, hell is an NFT? I don't know what that even means. It was like, yeah, World of Women. I'm going to buy this World of Women. It's like 3 ETH. And I'm like, what's an ETH? What's ETH? What even is that? And he was like, oh, so Ethereum, it basically equates to X amount of dollars. I was like, and you're going to buy that? And what is it? It's a picture. It's a JPEG, is it? You're going to buy that? Okay, no problem. So he buys that. Literally the week later, it had tripled in price. I was like, oh my God, I need to start looking into what the hell this is. So me being me, I thought, okay, I'll delve right into it. I was on Twitter, which seemed to be the best place to get the information. I was searching the hashtags. I came across the crypto chicks and really loved the artwork, really loved the profile pictures. And once you start delving in, you start seeing this whole world that you'd never actually seen before. And you're like, oh my God, where had this been hiding my whole life? My timeline was literally like about bloody football and Love Island. And I was like, where have you all been hiding? So for me, I just wanted to get the most education that I possibly could. I was on Google, I was in the Discords, I was looking at WAGME. What the hell does WAGME mean? What's a rug? Who's sweeping what floor? Like all of these different terminologies.
I remember those days. I was so confused.
I was like, why are they sweeping the floor on the Discord? I did not know what it meant.
We've all been there.
And it was interesting, and it was really like daunting. I don't think I slept for about a week, to be honest. But once I learned the basics, I felt pretty confident and started kind of testing the waters, buying my first bit of cryptocurrency, which was the scariest thing I've probably ever done in my entire life, by the way. Just it's a simple process. I mean, it's not the most simple. It's not like transferring from one bank account to another, but it is pretty simple.
Yeah, like I compare it to, you know, when you go to an airport and they have those exchange desks.
Yeah,
that's almost what you have to do with cryptocurrencies.
That's all you're doing, but it's what you're doing online. So that was terrifying. But once I'd done it once, I knew, lost a little bit in gas here and there because I wasn't leaving enough
as we all do.
As we all do. But no, it was, I started buying the NFTs, and I was initially just looking at like what looked pretty. I wasn't thinking about utility. I wasn't really thinking about who the artist was. And it's only now that I'm kind of more into it that I'm thinking, right, okay, stop minting every single thing that is available. Stop minting everything that you're on the pre-sale for. You don't need to. You can wait. And just taking it slower now. I'm in the projects that I want to be in. There's a few more that I feel like I would love to be a part of. And then we've got this, which is really, really super exciting. So I'm hoping that I can use my experience and some of my mistakes as well to help onboard a few of my friends. And fingers crossed, they can have Angel Alliance as one of the first NFTs.
Me too. I'm hoping to do the exact same thing with my friends. And I guess my next question for you is, why did you choose Angel Alliance? Why did it resonate with you?
Honestly, I think the whole thing of Angel Alliance, there isn't one specific thing that I could say about Angel Alliance. It was drawn to me. It was just like every single thing that was put on that white paper was like, oh my God, yes, this is like two parallel lines just running in the same course together. And it was just incredible to see what you guys stood for and how it could potentially help people. And I know how difficult it was to me to start a business, and I had the luxury of having funds from filming or the backing of that kind of money that people just don't have. So the fact that you're going to be funding startup businesses, that to me is absolutely incredible. But not only that, even if a business doesn't get funded, they're still going to be able to take so many resources from Angel Alliance. I'm going to learn so much from Angel Alliance. I just can't wait. I can't wait for this directory because I'm going to be peeking in this directory and marking all these numbers down. But it's just such an incredible resource. And honestly, I just do not think you can put a price on education. And what is that phrase we use? Your net worth.
Your network is your net worth. Yeah, exactly. No, but it's true. Like I think I've learned this in the last few years as well. The people you know have such a big impact, and we've had a brief conversation about this already, but the people that you surround yourself with are so important. And that is why I want Angel Alliance to become a brand that represents all these incredible women and, again, men within the community. We need everyone to be part of the same conversation. But I want this to become a community where people feel comfortable, they can open up about their struggles, and they have those incredible people around them that will give them that support, but also lift them up to the next level. You know, that's what you need. And I guess like the whole mentoring aspect, like everyone needs a mentor, no matter where you are in life.
Yeah, I agree.
Everyone needs a mentor,
100%.
and it's so important. But yeah, I'm honestly so happy to have you on board with the Angel Alliance, and you are going to you're going to change so many lives as well, along with us.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm absolutely buzzing. I can't wait for this to launch, and I just genuinely think this is going to be one of the biggest thing that Web3 has ever seen. So
I hope so.
I look forward to
We've got it. We've got this. It's very, very exciting. But thank you so much for joining me, Holly, and I can't wait to continue this conversation on another space or live or wherever we go next.
I'm really Woo!
Thank you.
Thank you.